Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you to James, Hannah, Mia, all of the A-Space crew for putting this project, this event together, and thank y'all for sticking around for the last ones. But thank you so much for showing your support for all these amazing projects.
Thanks, Gray, and thanks to all of you for being here. We're really excited to tell you about our project. But first we'll start with some introductions and then we will move on to what the project's all about. So I'm Lucie, I'm an artist and facilitator and I'm based here in Southampton. I'm interested in lost and fragmented histories in my art practice. And I mostly explore this through the collection and reuse of different objects and materials which symbolise places, people, and often the injustices they have experienced. I am currently studying a part-time master's in contemporary art and archaeology, so heritage and history are really important to me and in my art practice. I feel it's so important to look back at what came before so that we can understand where we are in the present, and that is really what drives me as an artist.
And I'm Gray. I am a composer, a vocalist, sound artist, and a lecturer at the University of Southampton, teaching music and fine art. My work really just follows stories that are held in Black and Indigenous tradition and asks, how do we listen? How do we make space for the voices that have been talked over or archived away or never even written down at all? For me, sound is memory. The way a voice carries emotion that words alone can't, that's the archive I'm interested in. I've been developing something called endarkened co-composition, a method that centers shared storytelling and informal exchange as the source material for creative work. What that basically means in practice is that I don't make works just off of my own ideas. I don't come into a room with a finished idea. Rather, everyone in that space, we create something together. I listen first. The work emerges from what the people bring. And that's the spirit behind everything we're about to share with you. Lucie and I met as artists in Zest. Hey, Zest in the back. Together, we've been asking ourselves a question that feels pretty urgent, maybe especially right now in this room on this day. What does it mean to be remembered?
So when I typed the word women into the Southampton Photo Archives database, one image and one only came back. This may seem surprising at first, but then again, ask yourself what you know about women of the past, particularly women local to Southampton. You'll likely think of famous names and faces, those who were deemed remarkable, transformed the world in some way, or were probably the victim, or maybe occasionally, perpetrator of a sensationalized crime. What do you know about your grandmother's life or great-grandmother's life, or the lives of women just like us who walk the streets that surround this building, or the women who were imprisoned or died in this building? What about the wives and children of the men important enough to be named and inscribed on the walls and plaques of the city? The servants, the migrants, the refugees, matrons, sex workers, disabled, elders, single women and widows who built the fabric of the city that recorded history would have you believe was in the shadows.
In the age of information and accessibility to people's carefully curated digital lives, i.e. Instagram and TikTok, what will this tell future generations about our experiences as women? How we feel, what has happened to us, what's missing? And in consideration of the fact that so much of women's history is inaccessible or non-existent, are we missing an opportunity to offer agency to ourselves, our communities, and our own future generations? Amplified history has always leaned towards the powerful, the remarkable, the exceptional. But most of us aren't exceptional, in that narrow sense at least. We're working class, we're carers, we're migrants, we're older women, queer women, trans women, women of the global majority. We're the people who kept the world running and are keeping the world running while someone else got written about. Our stories are not lost, they are simply waiting to be heard. So, let's get into it. Extraordinary Archives is a community arts project that starts from a simple belief. Personal history is community history. It's a project that amplifies the voices of ordinary women by connecting people's everyday lived experiences with historical archives and creative activities. The project will be centered around a series of workshops led by Lucie and I, covering creative writing, sound recording, storytelling, and assemblage using objects, photographs, and other memorabilia that explores participants' identities and lives. Come to one workshop, come to all of the workshops, come to a few. Every single workshop is self-contained, and you're guaranteed to A, leave with transferable skills, and also contribute to the exhibition. Participants will learn new skills while fostering connections to their sense of self, personal histories, and the wider community. The purpose of the project is to encourage us all to become archivists of our own lives, bridging the gap between those underrepresented in formal archives and historical records, asking us all to think about the importance of what we leave behind for future generations. By empowering participants to become archivists of their own lives, of our own lives, the project validates personal history as community history. The wider community will benefit from a richer, more inclusive understanding of local heritage that challenges whose stories deserve preservation and ensures women's everyday experiences are heard.
So what we're building is not meant to merely be an art exhibition. It's a living record shaped entirely by the women who make it. The project will culminate in a publicly accessible and multi-sensory exhibition and creative archive. Shaped by participants' desires, the curation itself will symbolise and highlight women's lived experiences. The exhibition will challenge traditional archival practices and demonstrate that women's everyday stories are equally valuable to community memory as that which is deemed so in official records. So the installation of the exhibition, a few ideas that we have, and obviously they will change as the workshops develop, are to include soundscape installations with individual listening stations, playing layered sonic archives of voices, ambient recordings and composed soundscapes, so those will be what people create in the workshops. Wall-mounted and freestanding assemblage works, incorporating photographs, text, and found objects. Interactive archive tables where visitors engage with facsimiles of personal ephemera, so things that seem insignificant but define our identities, like receipts that you collect. Large-scale text installations such as vinyl wallpaper created from participants' writing and process documentation showing workshop development. So who is this project for and what will they hopefully get out of it? So the project is for all women and that includes cisgender women, trans women, non-binary people, and all who identify with womanhood either now or in the past. The project pays particular attention to those whose stories are underrepresented in formal archives and heritage settings. We might not have said that 100 times, but it's very true. So that includes working class women, women of the global majority, migrants, carers, elders, and all other. This is not fixed or exclusionary. Fundamentally, we wish to encourage and allow women to feel empowered by ordinarity, to know that their voices are valued and important, and offer a fascinating glimpse into experiences that have largely been stifled historically. As a result of the project, we hope that participants will experience an increase in confidence within themselves and to feel more confident creatively by trying new things in a supported environment, as well as developing their abilities and skills that they might already have. We are committed together to creating space for a shared sense of belonging in the hope that connections will be built between women across all backgrounds as a result.
We started this project because we kept meeting women with extraordinary things to say and nowhere that felt like it was made for them to say it. Archives are usually built by institutions about the past and hidden behind glass. What we want to make is something different, something that belongs to the people who made it, something that you can hear, you can touch, you can feel, you can sign about, and maybe something that you can recognize yourself in. So we want to leave you with this. Be a part of a living, breathing archive. Your story matters. It always has.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.